Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Work Shoot Show. This is episode 15. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Lyndon Burton, joined by our other host, Mr. Peter McGinn. Pete, how you doing? This is now when we do this, I legitimately love our news episodes, but I look forward to, I think we've created, like, with this show, a segment that people look forward to, because I look forward to it. The predictions episodes in the review where we get Pete's grades. I look forward to that every single time.
I mean, I would like it a little bit more if my predictions were better, but it is. I love like just seeing like the results of like what I was thinking and being like, wow, I was really dumb to think that. Like, of course that didn't happen. Like me picking Sami Zayn over Roman Reigns.
But I get where you were coming from. And then I'm gonna let people know this will mostly, like the last one, the episode before the Revolution predictions episode was mainly a WWE episode. This will majority be an AEW episode. There's not really much from the E to talk about unless you want to talk about Vince McMahon and Gorilla at Raw with like John Cena. People are saying it's just because of Cena. Is Vince back in control? God, I hope not.
I really hope not too. From what I saw, he was just there because Cena was there.
Cena,
but like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm under the illusion that, you know, people still say Triple H is in control, and I'm like, I don't think he is.
I'm forcing myself to believe he is, because there's still booking decisions that show it, but they are little Vince McMahonisms that get through every time. Yep. Omos, making fun of Chad Gable, making fun of Gargano. Like, there are certain Vinceisms that come through. But I will say, on the past Raw, final thing in that I have, at least on WWE, unless you got something, John Cena put Austin Theory in the dirt. Said, boy, you got, they piping crowd noise for you. I was like, whoa, John. Whoa.
Yeah, Austin definitely needs to win at WrestleMania, or that boy is buried.
John told him, he was like, this is the worst decision you could have ever made. And he might be right, because, like, Austin Theory, I don't even see as, like, from, you know how you feel about Dom? That's kind of how I feel about him. Like, he's just annoying. Like, he hasn't shown me anything as a heel other than annoying brat.
At least Austin Theory is like a somewhat decent wrestler.
True.
I don't like Dom's in-ring work, and I don't like his outside work.
See, my thing with Dom is his in-ring work, I'm with you. But I can get along with the jail. Like, the jail shit is funny to me. Like, I know, at least I know he does not, like, in his heart of hearts, he does not believe that shit. He's just putting on an act. Austin Theory, in his heart of hearts, believes everything he is saying. Like, I don't believe he's like MJF who hates himself. He hasn't shown me that type of depth yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Austin has to win, or like you said, he is buried.
Buried.
I'm gonna make that a sound effect for whenever we talk about people buried. I'm just gonna put that in as the background. I love that. That's lit.
Because we might be talking about somebody on this card who might be a little bit buried.
Yeah, real shit. Oh my gosh. Oh. And with that, Pete, take it away, and let's get into the AEW Revolution review.
Yeah, let's do it. So we had 8 matches that we predicted. There was a 9th pre-show match, which was actually pretty good.
It was. We didn't predict it though, but it was good.
But like, I mean, the Lucha Brothers are just like insane, and I really like the team with them and
Briscoes.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Pac, because I think this might be better than Death Triangle. Like, I think they fit each other a little bit better.
I do too. It was a really fun dynamic, and if they want to make this a thing going forward where they want to compete with like House of Black, I'm all for it. Yeah,
I'm for it 100%.
So shout out to that like random pre-show match that was like, all good. Yeah, just a really good. Usually the pre-show matches are like,
yeah,
8-minute stinkers, or like,
unless it's Eddie Kingston, which it has been for a
this was like a 13-minute like really banger match. Yeah, so shout out to that. But let's get started.
Tony Khan said from pre-show to finale, I'm giving y'all bangers. Which, real quick, I think he needed to do that because of how bad the stories were leading up to this.
A little bit.
Show, if you look at the ratings, if you look at like everything leading up, everything was down. and this upcoming Dynamite. See, I'm gonna ask you. I don't know if this upcoming Dynamite was a banger, but I can say they laid groundwork to story. And if that's the case, I'll deal with that more so than getting banger matches. Like, at least give me story, which they weren't giving in the Dynamites leading up to this. So, but yeah, my bad. I just wanted to get that out the way.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna go in the order in which we predicted and not the actual match order.
Okay, cool.
So the first match that we had, which was I think also the first match of the pay-per-view, was Christian versus Jungle Boy.
Oh no, that was second. That was match
second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ricky Starks and Jericho was first. So
yes, sir.
Christian versus Jungle Boy. I predicted Christian would win. Lynn predicted Jungle Boy would win. So Lynn obviously got the W there. This was a pretty solid match for
this
something.
Was a great match, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked. And I think it was the little things, not to cut you off. I think it was the little things, like Jack Perry kissing Christian before he slams the thing, the concerto.
Yeah.
Like, I think Christian as a heel was just perfect. Like, slamming him on the pyro thing. Like, and then the turtleneck, just the way he looks, he carries himself. Christian is a great heel, man.
He is a good heel. Yeah, like low key, the favorite part of my Christian heel part of the whole match was his turtleneck. I was like, yes, this dude is such a douche. Like,
yeah,
I love
big
it.
time.
The only problem is just like, I didn't care about this match going into it.
Fair.
I don't really care about it afterwards.
This feud was supposed to end at Full Gear. It just so happened that Christian was injured. You know, this feud has been supposed to be over.
But the in-ring work was good. Like, it was a very enjoyable match. There was a couple of good spots, like on the ring apron or on like the ramp and stuff like that, that they looked a little brutal. I don't know how I feel about Gene's Luke Perry Jungle Boy, but I know he's like trying to reinvent himself a little
on
bit
his Stone Cold Steve Austin swag. Yeah,
it's just like the boots and the jeans with no shirt on. I'm like I get
we already have Hangman, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But I would say overall, just like a very solid match. I thoroughly enjoyed it for a match that I didn't care about. So I gotta give props for props is due. And yeah, just good. How about you? Do you have any thoughts on it?
No, look, I'm with you. Like, I thought this was a good match. You're absolutely right. I didn't really care about the story. I might be a little higher on the match than you, because I do think they impressed me with everything they did. Saying, because you got to think, going second after Ricky Starks and Jericho put on a damn good match, and then you have Kenny Omega in House of Black after you, you're in a bad position as Jungle Boy and Christian. And to make it to where you're not the worst match or even the second to worst match on this card says a lot for like how well you did. Like, when you think of the stinker of this match, it goes to Wardlow and Samoa Joe, even though that wasn't a bad match either.
No, in-ring is fine, yeah.
It's just, this match had you captivated for the amount of time that they had, and it makes me excited for what not only Jungle Boy does next, but Christian as well. I think Christian can get into a program with someone and really put someone over.
Yeah, I just really hope it's not Jungle Hook versus
Luchasaurus
and Christian.
Let this shit be dead. It
needs to be done. They need to try something new. I'm gonna give this match though. I'm giving it 3. Please let this be the last matches.
See, I knew it. I like I said, I agree with you, but I'm a little bit. I rank it a little bit higher than you. I'm going 3.3 Jungle Boy jeans.
Okay. I like that. Okay, then let's switch over to, maybe we'll go in match order now. I think it'll be a little easier. Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho. I had Jericho, you had Ricky Starks, so you got the dub on this one.
This one, when you picked Jericho, I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, I knew that Ricky Starks, like, they are pushing him. And then when you watch because I watched some of his interviews, and then when you watch the presser after, he's like a guy that they're pushing I think Tony Khan is worried that he goes to WWE with Cody. Like, they had reports that like Cody couldn't like talk to him anymore after it got leaked that he was at WWE for Royal Rumble. So like, Tony Khan knows what he had. He started his press conference like, what do you want to talk about? Like he knows that he's over, and Tony Khan, I think, doesn't want to lose him. So like, the push for Ricky is here. The thing is, you just can't give him to MJF yet. Like, you can't, like, Ricky can't win until the end of next year. And I have a theory on, I think, why the TNT Championship did what it did. Okay. So Ricky can get it. That's what I think the move is.
Oh, okay. I do like that. for the match itself, I thought this was just like a very solid match.
Solid opener for sure.
Yep. I don't know if there's anything that like blew me away by it. I didn't think that they set it up for it to
blow you away.
be like,
No, I think the best thing was Ricky showing that he is a better wrestler and he's smart and that he learned from his mistakes when Jericho went to do the Judas effect and he blocked because that's how he lost. I thought that was the best part of the match, was like, okay, Ricky's ready for the next level. He's officially over the Jericho time. He's a main eventer. This is dope. But like you said, I think this was average. You know, I liked it more than the Jungle Boy Jack Perry match. Well, about maybe the same actually. Like I can't say it's bad, but I can't say it's like a banger of a match. I've seen Ricky and Jericho both do better matches outside of this.
Yeah, agreed. And I also like how I called there was just like every time I pick Jericho, or every time I don't pick Jericho, Jericho wins. I was like, I bet this is the one time I don't pick Jericho. And I like on paper, I knew Ricky Starks should win. I felt like, but I also felt like other people should have won when they fought Jericho.
Fair.
That's why I did it.
You're right about
but
that.
I'm glad Ricky got the win. But overall, yeah, I would say that this is just like a very like good opener. This is the only one that I don't have like a thing for. I gave this 2.75 stars. Just like a pretty good match.
I have this at 3 absolute poses.
Ooh,
3
hand, like
3
I like that.
Poses. Like I said, like I can't give it better than the Jungle Boy Jack Perry match, but like it's not a bad match by any stretch of the mean. 3.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm with it.
Absolutely.
Oh, real quick. Yep. Do you think AEW has a babyface problem? Because, like, bro, or we can talk about this after the match rating with the Wardlow stuff as well. But I'm worried. There's 4 people I'm worried. Yeah, let's do it after. There's 4 people I'm worried about. Ricky Starks is one of them. Wardlow is one of them. Hangman Adam Page is one of them. And Adam Cole is the other.
But yes, I would agree. But yeah, let's get to that when we
for sure. We'll save that thing.
Next up, we have the trios match: the Elite versus House of Black.
Banger.
Because I knew going into this like what I was going to expect. I don't mind the spot fest stuff that we get a lot of the times. However, I do think that in ring, I'm always just like very entertained whenever it's the Elite. Like they always put on like a really good match.
And I think House of Black held their own. That's what made this impressive for me.
Well, I knew that they would. They're incredible wrestlers. Huge Buddy Murphy fan. Huge Malachi Black fan.
Buddy Matthews, that knee that he did to interrupt the Meltzer driver was like, what the? I know that hurt. And the fact that they did it without blood and without a lot of gore, it worked. And it wasn't as flippy as like the Bucks are used to. It was more like knees and kicks. It was more of a Kenny style match than a Buck style match. If I am that fit Kenny and Malachi.
No, you're right.
My thing is, and I'll let you go. My thing is, they just need to give us more of this. Like next week, I know they're doing.
That's always fun.
I know they're doing the JAS and Malachi and the Elite. House of Black has to win, but I want to build to House of Black versus the Elite in the next pay-per-view. Like, give us Buddy versus Kenny, the Bucks versus Malachi and Brody King. Like, just mix it up because I think this is a feud that needs to continue to the next pay-per-view because it's that good.
Yeah, they did that. Like you said, I think it would be more flippy if it was like the Lucha Bros, like they did previous with their trios matches, and even the Elite versus Death Triangle was. I mean, they ran that feud for a while, and I loved every match that they had. So if they want to do that with House of Black, go for it.
And I think it's better because Brody King gives Kenny and the Bucks such a like. The Death Triangle was perfect for them. Kenny Pack and the Lucha Bros and the Bucks. This one, Buddy Murphy's bigger than the Bucks. Malachi's bigger than the Bucks. It's like Kenny's the one that's trying to like step toe to toe, and then they have this behemoth Brody King. How do they overcome? I think that's such a beautiful story for them, man. Like, and I also love the thing on Rampage or Dynamite where Kenny was like, look, Jericho, we didn't cross each other's paths. And like, you could do a little small feud with JAS in the Elite in the meantime to see the winner gets the House of Black. And I like that beef. I also think Don Callis and Kenny have some stuff coming up because Callis interrupted Kenny. And like, that was a little interesting. Callis maybe switching to Takeshita, and then you'll get a Takeshita Kenny feud in the future. But this match was great.
Yeah,
this match was awesome.
Really, really fun. I feel like this maybe should have been how you started off.
Good point.
I think this was like a pretty hype match that I think would have started it really well. But
for the third best match of a card, and to say this is a card's third best match, I haven't seen a card yet with a third best this good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So I'm looking at my ratings right now, and I also had this as my third best match. So
it was, bro, that knee that Julia Hart took, that V trigger, boy,
that was great. I think like Kenny did it, and he like kneed her, and he just like,
so she asked for it.
It's like nothing I can do now. Like the damage is already done. Like time to move on. I thought that was just like hilarious, and then just really good, man.
It was great, and just like Kenny knees with such power, and it just showed like, damn, Malachi Black and Buddy Murphy's kicks are just as powerful as Kenny's. Like that kick Malachi Black did, I was like, holy shit, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Malachi. I didn't know your game before.
I wasn't familiar with your game.
Yeah, I was not familiar. I am a Malachi fan now, for sure.
Yeah, dude, I love Malachi. Their whole gimmick is just really fun right now.
Mm-hmm.
But for this match, I'm gonna give it 3.5 minutes to take for me to put on my face paint.
That's a good one. I'm going, I'll go 3.5 with you. I'm going 3.5. Oh no, I'm gonna go 3.6. Oh no, actually, I'm gonna put down the Jungle Boy rating to 3.2 because it can't be 3.3. I'll put it down to 3.2. Can't be that close to this one. So I'm gonna go 3.5 for this one. 3.5 V triggers to Julia Hart's face.
All right. Love it. Next up was probably maybe the worst match of the night. Oh, depending on how you view it.
Depending on how you spin it.
Jamie Hayter versus Saraya versus Ruby Soho.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't bad, though. I will say this. Even though it might have been the worst match with this or the Wardlow match, I don't think this match was necessarily bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I just it was given the least amount of time at 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple good spots in it. However, I really disliked the ending.
Yeah, me too.
I disliked the heel turn at the end.
Mm-hmm. I think Ruby should have stayed with their team. They explained it better at Dynamite. But like Ruby shouldn't have been the Hulk Hogan. The Hulk Hogan is Sasha Banks. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you're gonna do that storyline, that's your Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
it is not Ruby Soho, and I love Ruby Soho.
Yeah, there's like a spot outside of the ring where like Ruby like did like a crossbody onto both of them, and they were fighting outside. That was kind of fun. There's a couple of really nice spots inside the ring. I really like Jamie Hayter's like lariats that she pulls.
Yep. And I like when she smashes her ass and backside until she crushed Ruby Soho and Saraya, bro. Like, absolutely crushed them. I don't know if I like Saraya, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm liking it.
I think she's like fine.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against her.
I like new Tony Storm though.
Tony Storm is a huge plus. For the longest time I've been saying that she needs to switch up her game because she's been the same character for like 6 years.
Yep.
And it's a little bit different now. She got like a haircut. And it looks great.
She's great as and I like Ruby Soho. I think Dynamite did a better job of explaining this heel tone for her. So I like Ruby heel more now, but it's just like, I feel like they're missing a leader. I don't feel like Saraya's strong enough for that. I don't feel like Tony Storm's strong enough, and I don't think Ruby's strong enough for that.
Yep, I agree. I do wish that Mercedes showed up. Mm-hmm. I think that this would have been the perfect time, given just because the match itself wasn't long. I feel like, and it wasn't like super hype, but like, you can get a lot of people excited for women's wrestling is if you sign the highest free agent. They need
to bring her in. Like, I know the partnership is still alive. I know there's things going on. And like Tony was asked about it. He was like, look, I have nothing but the respect in the world for the IWGP Women's Champion. I can't say anything because they're our partners, but they know we would love to work with any New Japan wrestler. So hopefully that is on the horizon because that feud is missing that. And if that happens, you'll get a good NWO versus like Britt Baker's, to me, too much of a big star, bigger than the others. Like, and I know Saraya has been longer, but I just vibe with Britt Baker more than any of the others. I vibe with Jamie Hayter shit more than the others. And if Chris Statlander could ever come back, or if they throw Jade Cargill in there, they're outmatched, man. They're just outmatched by mouthpieces. They just are.
Yep. Could not agree more. I just want to touch on the end where it was like the heel turn where like Ruby threw out Saraya and threw out Tony Storm,
Mhm.
but then turned on like I guess
Jamie and Britt when they weren't expecting it.
yeah, and I'm just like, why did you throw Soraya and Tony out of the ring
Was
only
it
to join with them? I'm like, if that was supposed to be like a swerve, like it didn't
hit.
me.
Yeah, no, you're right. It felt like I get why she did it, but the swerve just didn't hit.
Yeah, I feel like on paper it might have sounded better
Mhm.
than what we actually got, but it was just like
And I don't like the tagging of the L. Like, I don't know what that does
yeah,
for
it
anybody.
seems childish a little bit. Like, yo, hold this L, bro. It's like, or are we playing Fortnite? Like, what are we doing? Like that's
Like,
kind of like
you're
the
not
vibe
the
I was getting.
NWO. Like, the NWO at least did NWO. Y'all don't even have a title. Like, come up with a slogan or a name and then spray paint that on them. Like you said, hold this L is childish. I'm with you.
Yep, I agree. But for the match itself, thought it was solid. It felt more of like an AEW match, like
Mhm.
on TV, than it would like a pay-per-view. So
I agree.
I'm just gonna give it 2.5 heel turns. It was solid. It was a solid 10-minute match.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2.5 because it was my least favorite match, but the match coming up I have more of a problem with than this one.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go 2.5 as well. You're right. I'm gonna go 2.5. Ruby. So
like that.
She has
like
the best
that.
music, man. I like. And she should be better than what she. I don't know, man. I like Ruby. I don't know why it's not working. Hopefully the heel turn works for her because the music is great. And I will say that speech at Dynamite saying how you fans caused all this. That was the first speech I've felt by a woman not named Britt Baker or Jamie Hayter where I was like, okay, this was good. Yep. Or Jade Cargill. Because I rock with Jade.
For sure. Before we get to our other maybe possible stinker match, let's get to an absolute banger match.
Oh my gosh.
Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley in a Texas death match. I think we both knew that this match was going to be great. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, just because personally, not the biggest death match guy. I don't mind that much blood, but like when you're stabbing somebody in the head with a fork, not really my thing. However,
Abdullah the Butcher, man.
Yeah, like, they made it work.
Like, they were so okay. So I watched a lot of before we started this podcast and before me and you went in this adventure. For me to feel comfortable talking wrestling on a platform like this, I did so much research. I watched so many documentaries. I watched so many old matches, and like the death match. One day I went down a rabbit hole of the death match scene with. It started after watching the Dark Side of the Ring with what the hell is this black guy's name? The dude who threw mass transit off of the New Jack.
So I watched New Jack, the guy who stabbed somebody in the match.
Yeah, so I watched a bunch of New Jack stuff, which sent me down the ECW rabbit hole, which sent me to Mick Foley, which sent me to Onita and EC or the ECW version in Japan, which got me to Abdullah the Butcher, thus the oh man, what's his name? Big Brody, who died in Mexico or Puerto Rico. Yeah. Who they compared to in this match. There were so many Texas death match legends that inspired this. Big Brody, Abdullah the Butcher, Mick Foley, Onita. Like this was, if you know the Texas deathmatch origins, like they put on a good show. And even if you don't, it was amazing. My two of my favorite wrestlers in AEW really came through and held their own. Like it's Kenny Omega, it's Ricky Starks, and it's these two guys. And Moxley and Hangman just showed why Moxley showed why he's the ace, and Hangman showed why he can be the ace after Moxley.
Yep, I agree. My favorite thing about this match is one of the most underutilized weapons in wrestling, which is a brick.
Bro, I'm so happy you said it. I was like, I wonder if Pete's gonna mention the brick.
Bro. Bricks are so underutilized. They are now my favorite weapon in wrestling.
I thought he was gonna dead eye him on the brick, bro. I was so worried. Like, oh my gosh, all that shit was absolutely crazy. The freaking when he was tying the barbed wire around his body and jumped on, I was like, hey man, you wildin', bro.
Yeah, there were so many just insane spots. For a
chair with all the barbed wire on it.
For a non-deathmatch watcher, I was like, man, it's one of those things where like, you cover your eyes, but you're actually like peeking through your fingers. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is brutal, but this is so cool.
My girlfriend was like, how are you watching this? And her skin was crawling. She was literally doing that too. I was like, I'm eating this up. This is my shit.
Yeah. The curb stomp on the brick was
perfect. The ode to Seth Rollins, beautiful.
Just a wonderful match. Just an absolute delight of a match.
And the fact that Hangman hanged a man.
Yes. What a finish. Just like legit killing somebody. Like
beautiful, bro.
I don't really, because I'm sure it's fine where like you could get choked out for like 10 seconds and you'd be fine, but like that's a kind of a dangerous spot, like to like trust somebody like that. Like
that's why in the Dynamite thing, Renee Paquette was like, "I'm so happy this is over."
Right.
And Moxley still won't go on vacation.
Bro, you need to relax. Take care of your son or daughter. I forgot which one he had.
Bro, that chair with all that barbed wire, that was the one for me because I knew that one hurt. Like the other ones you could hide, but that like just bow or when Hangman threw him onto that barbed wire table.
I feel like, man, I have such like a weird like pain tolerance where like I would rather get punched in the face than like slapped.
Yeah,
I hate getting slapped, but like I feel like it's like one of those things where like I think I'd rather take a chair shot with barbed wire
than fall like, on a barbed wire table,
or just like something like kind of minor where like I feel like going through a table probably isn't that bad because they're like breakable, but like these guys are just so. I wonder if just like how it goes through their head where like the more painful it is, like the better it feels.
That's definitely from Moxley, bro. It's got to be for Hangman too, because like he was loving that shit too.
Yeah, they're like masochists in the ring,
bro. Like you said, the fork scrapes. Ooh.
Which is okay. Another thing with the fork thing was like the first spot was just like, oh my God, and then they brought it back like 45 seconds later, which is like. Usually they do like the one fork spot that's done. It's like, nah, we're gonna do it again. I was like, make it stop. Make it stop. Great, just a great match. Loved it from start to end. They never put on a bad match. I can watch these guys wrestle all the time, and I probably won't get sick of it.
And they turned Moxley heel on Dynamite, so it could be official if they fight again. So, like, I thought that was very interesting. Also, final thing I'm going to say, if I could get more chain involved in wrestling, like chain lariats, chain punches, I know, to me, that hurt more than the barbed wire because that chain shit is heavy.
Yeah, you, like, wrap it around and give him, like, a Superman punch.
Yeah, man, that's what they were going crazy, bro. Like, oh, my goodness. But second best match of the card for me.
I'm raising my score.
Ooh, let's go.
I loved this match. And this is coming from a guy who watches slice of life anime and hates blood. Well, I should say hate blood, but dislike blood. I'm giving this 4.5 bricks. This match was fantastic.
Let's go. I thought I was going to be too high. Let's fucking go. I'm going 4.5 Abdullah the Butcher fork stabs, baby. An ode to the OG fork stabber. Thank you, John Moxley, for acknowledging one of the early black wrestlers who didn't get a lot of love because of his skin complexion back in the Gap. So,
yeah, shout out. Okay, so now we got the good out of the way. Let's move to the stinkers. Wardlow versus Samoa Joe. I feel like you have some more words than I do, so I'll let you shoot.
Bro, okay, like, you sold me that this guy was going to come back and be the guy. This, to me, shows me why there is a babyface problem. So there's no reason why the Darby Allin match with Samoa Joe should have felt more impactful than this match. Like, you took the curtain off. It did exposed wood. You had better spots. You had better storytelling in ring. Like the fact that Wardlow didn't symphony you and this meant so much to you, and this dude disrespected your father, and you didn't even do your biggest moves. That upsets me. Submissioning Joe with Joe's move doesn't mean shit to me. That is a cop-out to me. This should have been powerbomb suplex till Joe couldn't fucking walk because he disrespected your dad. But that just shows me that they don't care about Wardlow. I have a conspiracy theory that Wardlow Tony knows Wardlow's trying to go to WWE because he's a friend with Cody. Like Cody, more of a friend than Ricky Starks. Like I don't think they won't even want Wardlow to be in the mix. And I think they just gave him this win, so Samoa Joe didn't have to get have to take a L to Powerhouse Hobbs the next day because that's the dumbest fucking booking in America. And Samoa Joe would not subject himself to that, but they subjected Wardlow to that. Bro, there's no way Wardlow can be a fucking star after this. I'm at least in AEW. I'm sorry.
Man, I don't know how I could top that.
I'm sorry. It made me so mad, Pete. Like, I had so much hype for that match. I bought into the King of Television. I was like, okay, let's give Wardlow a shot. He's coming back. But when I saw Powerhouse Hobbs win that, I was like, wait, what is going on right now?
Yeah, man. I felt like Wardlow should have never lost it in the first place.
Facts.
Lost it again. He got a haircut.
He was the hottest dude in the fucking. And when we're talking about hot, I'm not talking about
him and MJF were 1 and 2. Yeah,
and he beat MJF. Like, let's not forget, he beat the champion clean. So you're telling me the guy who beats the champion clean is getting treated like a fucking like clown?
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Maybe that is the case where maybe he's just better suited for WWE. I don't agree. I
don't think so either. I thought he was suited perfectly here, but like. I don't know.
I thought he was like a perfectly good big man in AEW that could rise to champ status if they wanted to elevate him. And then now it kind of feels like this trajectory is all over the place. Like, I don't know. You have him win on a pay-per-view against like a very suitable opponent only to lose to. I mean, I love
Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah,
I love Hobbs.
This is no disrespect to Powerhouse Hobbs. I love him. I think
it's all timing. It's all timing.
I think Powerhouse Hobbs has a championship run in him. I think he can be a very impactful big man, but this was not his time right now. I'm sorry.
You can have him. You can book him strong. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff with him, but it's like, okay, now what does this say about the state of AEW in terms of their Haas division, their big boy division? Where I don't feel like it's that competitive anymore. Like, Wardlow beats Samoa Joe, Hobbs beats Wardlow. Samoa Joe's probably going to ROH. I don't know how much we're gonna see him in AEW. And it's like what's next for Wardlow? What's next for Hobbs?
I think Hobbs is, if they go the direction I'm thinking, Hobbs is gonna fight as a heel against Ricky Starks to put gold on Ricky. I think that'll be a long-standing feud. But let me tell you what I think is going to happen to Wardlow. I think Wardlow's going to get buried more because I think Wardlow's going after MJF, and I think he's going to fucking lose.
That just, like, I don't mind that, but I don't mind that, I guess, in like on paper. But
I just mind that after you just did what you did
right now. Yeah, like right now, it doesn't make any sense. Because
you remember MJF's list? It's going in order. It went Starks. It said Rock. It said the Pebble. It said American Drugan or Douchebag Dragon, and then it was Wardlow next.
Wardlow.
His list, yeah, he made that list that he released. He's going in order, and then after that will be Hangman Adam Page, and then Adam Cole as well. And he finishes with Claudio, which is like, bro, you want to fight Claudio last? Like what?
Who knows? All right. Well, I think we got our venting out of the way. Let's see.
And I'm sorry. And final thing, my last thing.
Go for it.
I think Wardlow could be Goldberg. Like, I think Wardlow could be Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, like this monster. To me, he's better than Braun Breaker, in my opinion.
I agree.
But they booked Braun Breaker better than Wardlow. Like, Wardlow should be getting the treatment that Braun Breaker's getting treated right now. But I just don't know why Tony Khan refuses to do that. And like I said, the Darby Allin match with Samoa Joe felt more important than this, and this just didn't.
Yeah, there's I feel like this is something we're missing, like behind the scenes. That's
what I'm saying. It's my conspiracy, like the Cody friendship thing. I feel like there's a conspiracy there.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, but getting into this actual match, of Wardlow,
it wasn't bad. Like
it wasn't bad. I did like the fast start where like they didn't like do the walk around circle grapple thing. Like Wardlow went right after Samoa Joe, hitting each other. I love the Wardlow spot where he like runs up on the ring and then like does like a somersault and hits the person while he's jumping off of it.
Bro, that swanton that Wardlow did, bro, Wardlow's incredible. Like, my God, bro. That when I saw that swanton and I saw how it ended, I was like, ain't no fucking way they did my boy Wardlow like this. Because, like, the fact that he might be the only big man that can move like that.
Yeah, like, I guess, like, Keith Lee can kind of do some
he
like
can?
big
okay,
man
real.
stuff. Well, I don't think Keith Lee does a swanton, but Keith Lee does some pretty like for his size.
You would know more than me, yeah.
Some pretty athletic stuff, but Keith Lee, almost died when he had COVID, so he's kind of big chilling right now.
Wearing capes, looking with Dustin Rhodes looking crazy. Don't get me. We're gonna talk about Keith. We're gonna talk about the rest of AEW at the end of the night. Well, I got some takes.
I feel like Keith Lee maybe fights Hobbs and next, and Hobbs beats Keith Lee or something like that.
Oh, I could see that before you do the Ricky Starks thing.
Yeah, Hobbs up. Some cool down filler stuff. I guess other than like a few spots, this match was just like fine, I guess.
And it had to say that you had this match, to say you knew what was before this and you gave us this just shows me even more that like you don't really care about Wardlow to put him after that Texas death match and this be the match you gave him. Like, or you think maybe Samoa Joe don't like him? Because Samoa Joe let Darby do some crazy shit.
I don't. I feel like I guess I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
That's why I'm just throwing things. I'm just throwing darts out, seeing how you feel. Because like Darby got to bash Samoa Joe with a skateboard.
Yeah, I just feel like they were given like 11 minutes, so they did what they could do.
You're right.
Darby and them had way more time.
No, you're right.
I will say that I do like that Wardlow choked out Samoa Joe. Kind of like doing like what Samoa Joe does to win. So
true.
I did like that. But other than that, I mean, I just thought that this was like a good, solid big man match, and nothing to me really stuck out, especially the aftermath of Wednesday. Because we're recording this on a Thursday.
Yeah, we're recording this after Dynamite, and that affects my ranking. I'm sorry,
which is like, it's like I know we probably shouldn't do that, but like it's really hard not to.
Like, and I would like honestly. I felt the same way about the booking before Wednesday. Wednesday just confirmed it. Like I felt like that either I was gonna either come in here and say before Wednesday, either Powerhouse Hobbs is getting buried or Wardlow's getting buried. And I had a Powerhouse Hobbs argument as well, because it's like, why do you give this man the Revolution thing just to lose to Wardlow? Like either way, it made no sense.
Yep, I agree. So I'm gonna give this match 2.5 cuts to Hobbs up in the balcony.
I'm giving this a flat out two Wardlow cars getting broken into. Is that real? Was that a work? Like I didn't even understand.
It's probably a work.
Because that man don't even have his belt. Like I felt bad.
It's probably a work. Okay. Before we get to the main event, we had the four-way tag. For the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We have the Guns going up against the Acclaimed, going up against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, going up against Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
We both got this wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I forgot to be mentioning this. Okay. I picked Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, which at one point I thought I was going to get correct.
I did too.
And then you picked the Acclaimed, which, if you can't tell by the crowd, they're still the most over tag team, and they should be holding the belts right now. But for some reason, they're not.
And you know why I think it is? It's because FTR signed back with AEW. And FTR was like, we're signing back. You better give us a run with the belts. I truly think that. But
they could take it from the Acclaimed, and it would make sense. Like
I think it's more so that Tony doesn't want to do the Acclaimed fight yet, and put like. If you think about it like this, you could make FTR lose. You could make FTR win against the Ass Boys. The Ass Boys don't take any heat from, like, they don't look bad from that. And then now you can build to Acclaim FTR instead of if you have the Acclaim get it just for FTR to take it from them. I think that may take some heat from the Acclaim.
Maybe it's just more of just like, I'm a big fan of just like running with the hottest thing.
True, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
And it's not like Sammy level, but like, the Acclaimed, especially with the tag division, like
they were probably the most over tag team last year, over the Usos, over the
they're
Bucks.
Up there.
Yeah.
And you could argue they're the hottest thing in AEW. And like, I get sometimes not holding the belt is fine, but I feel like because they're newer, I think it would help solidify them more as like a threat going forward, even if they don't have the belts.
You're right.
Because you can hold it if they held it for like a couple months. then like at any point, like this team is good enough to win the championship at like any time. And
And
I feel like
I think they're gonna get a shot again. I think they're gonna do the build up. Like, okay, we lost our spot. Let's rally back and do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But going into this match, a couple things that stood out to me. I thought I was sick of Orange Cassidy. I'm not.
I'm not. Nope,
I'm not.
me neither. I
Love
like
him.
look. Orange can hold that all international belt as long as he wants. Like, I know he's not gonna get a shot at the championship, but like let him turn the international belt into what Gunther has turned the Intercontinental into. That like make that the Workers' Championship where he goes to England, he goes to Mexico, he goes to Japan. People come to AEW. Like, make that dude wrestle 360 days a year, 5 days off just to be cool. And like, let's get Orange working because he's great.
Yep, agreed. I haven't watched a lot of Danhausen in-ring stuff. It's more of like the outer ring
He
stuff.
impressed me.
I liked him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed him and Orange Cassidy as a tag team. The Acclaimed are just super red hot still. Yeah. I wish they would have won this match.
I like Daddy Ass pushing fucking Satnam Singh with the booty.
that was great. The Guns are an interesting tag team to me because I really like
Colton. I'm starting to like, yeah. Oh, is that the one with the headband?
The taller one.
Oh, so you like the tall? I like the shorter one because I think the shorter one has a little swag.
You like Austin. Okay.
The way he wears the tag belt around his neck, like his Ric Flair headband, the sunglasses. I just like his style, man. I don't know what it is. You like Colton? Okay, tell me why you like Colton.
He was a very extra seller.
Mm-hmm.
When he got hit, it looked like he was getting murdered, and I really enjoyed that with the type of character that the Guns are. Especially, I don't know if you saw like the pre-show stuff that they put out memos saying like not to call them the ass boys.
Yeah, I did see that.
Which is just like, I mean, that's funny. Like,
I
think the Guns are doing a decent job of like kind of realizing that their dad was called the Ass Man and stuff like that, and playing it into that. I think
they're doing a good job for what they are. Like, I think they're a good heel tag team.
I agree, and I just really enjoyed the look of Colton. He just seems like somebody I want to see succeed. I
feel the same way about Austin, man. I really do. Like that, I like Austin's swag.
Maybe I'm coming around the Guns.
Me too. I want him to get more devious. Like, let's turn this from schoolyard pranks to like, let's get really heely with it, man. Like, let's like y'all start being assholes. Even though I will say, I think the thing that made me really get into Austin was when he said to his dad, "You drowned your sorrows in an empty pill bottle." I was like, whoa, bro. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
get a little too real.
See, at that moment, that's when I was like, okay, Austin, let's keep that shit going, bro. Yeah, look at us coming around on the Guns. Even though I still don't think they should have won, but like, whatever.
I also don't think they should have won. And Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal were there. they existed and they did some stuff.
Hey, man, I like Jay Lethal, but Jeff Jarrett, it's time, bro. It is time for him to go.
Yeah. Satnam Singh, their muscle.
I always thought he was gonna wrestle. That dude's never gonna wrestle.
He's never gonna wrestle. He should fight Omos. Omos at
No, you said Brock. How Brock does it? Almost.
Yeah, Omos. That'd be a good 4-minute
Forbidden Door, man. Yeah. Forbidden Door. Satnam Singh versus Omos.
Yeah. But other than that, the match itself, a couple really good spots just in general with them. I enjoyed what Orange Cassidy and Danhausen kind of did with them as a group. The 4-man thing with the Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal and the Guns, where they did the Jeff Jarrett thing and then they scissored each other.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty fun.
The Ric Flair strut.
Yeah, the Jeff Jarrett strut thing that they did. Just like an overall really good 4-way tag match.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, not at all.
I don't wish the Guns should have won. I thought the ending was a little, I don't want to say rushed, but it seemed a little clunky, maybe.
You now know why Danhausen and Orange Cassidy was in there, because Danhausen had to take the pin.
I feel like Jeff Jarrett should have taken it.
Took the pin, yeah, I know.
it is what it is, but yeah, that's really like my thoughts on the match. Do you have anything?
Nah, you nailed it, bro. I'm with you on like everything you said. Like I will say I like the mic drop spot that the Claim did. I also
Oh yeah, Max Caster.
I also like when Max stood up to Jeff Jarrett and Taz was like, "Oh, they got beef. It's coming." I will say, I think Taz was like the best commentator that night, and we'll get to my favorite Taz moment in the main event. But I liked how Taz called out the Caster Jeff Jarrett beef, and I like how Caster caught the guitar and like reversed it on Jarrett. I thought that was a great moment because as we know, Caster sent shots at Jarrett, so I like that. Other than that, yeah, I think you covered it, man. Like I said, Daddy Ass doing the ass move on Platinum Singh was probably the best.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna give this my rating in terms of who I thought the MVP of the match was. I'm gonna give this 3.25 Orange Cassidy's attempting to give a thumbs up. One of these.
I'm gonna go to flat 3. I'm gonna go 3 platinum mic drops on it.
All right, let's get to the main event, the 60-man.
My goodness,
60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW World Champion MJF versus Bryan Danielson. We both had MJF. Man, this is a 60-minute match. So
before we do this, you want to tell us the scores, like real quick?
Yeah,
how we did, yeah.
You went 7-1.
Let's go, bro.
The only thing you missed was the tag match where you picked the Acclaimed. I went 4-4.
Hey, 500. That's what's up.
So that brings our record so far. Lynn, you're at 11-2.
Let's fucking go.
You're looking like the Pelicans in the first half of the season.
There he goes, tearing my heart.
And I'm looking like the Pelicans in the second half of the season. And I'm 5-8.
Tearing my fucking soul. I'm gonna buy a belt. Don't you worry. And I'm going to hold it on my shoulder. I'm gonna buy Pete a belt just to have there, but he can't wear it until he wins. Like, since we don't live in the same city.
give one of us the at least you tried award or something. Yeah.
So, all right, the prediction champ is running strong. I like it. Nice. But let's get into this match. I want to know how you feel because MJF is your guy. And I'll just say this. Best MJF match I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree. Just an absolute classic of an Iron Man match. In my opinion, when you have like a 60-minute match and it doesn't feel like a 60-minute match, you're doing something right.
That was huge.
Oh man, I kind of want to start with a couple like spots that I liked and didn't like. The mat wrestling that they did, I wasn't a big fan of, where they were doing like the spots, the Danielson back and forth, stuff, because Bryan Danielson is a mat wrestler. MJF is not really a mat wrestler, and when you're going like toe to toe with like the best mat wrestler, I'm like, I don't really believe this.
No, that's fair.
I don't mind it because they did do a thing where like at the end of it, MJF tried to do something and Brian's just like, nah, like I'm better than you. Like I knew you were gonna do this. But like I felt like it was like they did it like 3 too many times of just like flipping each other and then going into a hold. Then he flips you and then he goes into a hold. There's a little much.
Okay.
There's also a spot where I think MJF was supposed to get busted up, but he got like way too busted up to the point where like
his whole face was bloody, bro.
I feel like they were considering like maybe
stopping,
not because it was like way too much.
It was like that Stone Cold Steve Austin, like when he had the thing against
it reminded Brett, or like Eddie Guerrero, where like he cut himself too deep type of thing.
But it worked though for MJF though. I can't lie. That made it better.
It clotted up eventually, but like I think there was like a point in the match where like I think Bryan was supposed to do something to MJF, realized that he was bleeding like way too much, and then he kind of like walked back to the corner and like acted like he was like super tired because he realized that the ref needed to check on him. I was like, you could kind of tell that like I don't want to say it was botched, but like it was just like maybe a little
too much,
a little too excessive, because we even saw that when FTR
Dax had a random. I was like, what the fuck?
Like yeah, you're supposed to act like you punched him in the face, but like when you do it just a little too hard, you actually bust him open.
Yeah, that dude got. I was like, whoa, the Dax thing, true. But I'll say this: that tombstone pile driver MJF did on
insane
on the table, that was nuts. And then he did it again. Well, I don't know if he did it again, but whatever he did on the broken table after, nuts. Like he did 2 moves.
Yeah, he did from like on top of the ring post too.
Yeah, like that shit was nuts. And I was like, damn, MJF not a high flyer, but he was like, I told you I do it when I need to.
And another good thing that I loved about this match was like I was like, MJF has to win. Like, Brian can't win this match. And then during the match, I was like, you know what? If Brian won this match, I'd totally be cool with it.
I
Like,
bought it at legitimately. They swerved me, and I thought it was the best swerve of the night. I thought it was an actual real swerve where I bought in that Bryan Danielson was going to win that match. At a certain point, I was like, damn, MJF's going to lose. This goes against everything I thought, but I'm okay with if Bryan wins.
I don't know if I thought Brian was going to win, but if he did, I think I would have popped.
Yeah, I would
have.
I
was like, this is great. Were there any other spots that you want to talk about before we go into like the actual scores?
I like the oxygen. Counts? I like the oxygen spot. I thought that was good. I thought pulling out the diamond ring and having the ref take it off. I liked that. Let's see. Oh, I liked on the apron, all the shit they were doing on the apron. And I love how MJF sold his knee, man. Like that was acting. I see why he's getting a lot of these acting roles coming up. Let me let you know, he follows James Gunn. And the other day I looked at MJF's likes. He likes a bunch of James Gunn stuff. MJF might be in the DC universe. Like,
no, I wouldn't mind it. I think he has the personality and he's built for it.
Yep. In the presser, the way he said like he was working out and like how much he took this serious after losing his girl, I bought into it, man. Like I bought in all the way, and he truly believes he's the best wrestler on the planet. Look, I don't know if I'm gonna say that, but he's definitely this is the first time I can say legitimately in ring, I'm putting MJF in the conversation of like top 5, top 6 best wrestlers on the planet.
I think like in-ring psychology, he's up there. In terms of like actual skill, I don't think he's there yet, but he can tell a story and he can make me believe stuff.
He can tell a story better than a lot of people, man.
Yeah, whether it's in favor of him or in this case, I thought more in favor of Brian. That just
he put Brian over well, and Brian put him over well with that arm. Like I thought Brian's arm was about to fall out of socket. Oh, the spot where Brian ended up upside down after he did like that hurricane run off the post where he stayed attached. Yep. Bro, that was fucking nuts. That was good. That made Taz pop. Like Taz was like, "Holy shit." These guys are wrestling. But my favorite Taz moment was Taz being a boomer talking about, bro, can MJF stop getting water? Like, I love that, bro. Taz was like, bro, MJF got to stop with this damn water shit.
I thought that was pretty fun.
I loved every time Taz did it because I was like, look at this dude just upset at the new age.
How'd you feel about the MJF getting a disqualification with a low blow and then pinning him twice to tie it?
Oh, I actually liked that because I thought that was very heely of him. I also liked him throwing the tequila on the little boy.
Oh my god, that spot was so funny.
And then everybody on the internet was like, "Wow, MJF!" And the little kid was upset. And then in the thing, Tony was like, "We take this very seriously." And MJF was like, "Fuck that kid." Tony was like, "Bro, calm down."
Yeah, he went Michael Jordan on him and said, "Fuck them kids."
That was he is the perfect heel. I don't know if Roman Reigns is doing that. Like, I'm just. Like that's, but that's not the type of heel Roman Reigns is. Roman Reigns is a mafia boss. Yeah. MJF is a fucker.
He's MJF is a douchebag.
Yeah, big time.
So we ended up getting this match into a 3-3 tie. Tony Khan made the call to Tony Schiavone, being like, "Nah, we're not ending like
sudden
this."
Death, liked it, and it was like perfect to bring out. And see, let me just point this out.
Yep.
And you hated how they did Logan Paul. You hated that Montez Ford injury to opening the door. I think this was a better executed Logan Paul situation with the oxygen tank. Having MJF get oxygen, thinking the match is over, sudden death, and having it out. People forgot about it, and then boom, smash. Boom. I thought that was a way better execution of in two similar things with Logan Paul in the oxygen tank. I also think they had This was the time AEW beat them in a mirroring thing, whereas I think WWE beat them in the mirroring thing because AEW copied NXT with the 3-woman tag match with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane and Roxanne Perez for the championship in NXT with the Jamie Hayter thing. So I think this is very interesting seeing two storylines similar where WWE wins one and AEW wins the other. Mm-hmm.
No, that's a very good point. And I guess just like getting into the conclusion of this match where MJF taps like a second after the 60-minute comes out, and the crowd was kind of like confused because they like maybe Brian won, maybe
that was
he
awesome.
got before the belt or before the bell, and then he didn't, and then the crowd kind of got pissed
perfectly too with MJF and the ref.
Yeah, just like we're ending this pay-per-view on a tie. Like we can't go out like that. And
And
then
Tony Khan puts himself over.
Yep. Popped himself, little self pop there, and then MJF eventually getting the win with a oxygen tank to the head, and then finishing Bride off with his own moves.
And see, another situation where Wardlow used the Samoa Joe, MJF used Bryan's. I think MJF's was more successful.
100%. I think it's especially just like to end this match using, for like how long it was, using Bryan's own move was,
and it's a move that William Regal taught him. So again, to the William Regal storyline, like, I'm better than you. I'm finally, you're out in the hospital, quote unquote, and I used your move on your best protege and took him out.
Yeah, because Danielson submitted MJF with the Regal stretch for the third pinfall.
Yep.
So another call out to Regal there. I mean, to me, just beautiful storytelling, a match that went over an hour that felt like 20 some minutes.
Yep.
Just a testament to like a fantastic Iron Man match that it was. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints.
Me neither.
About this. I'm giving this 4.5 oxygen tanks.
Oh, same score as the Texas Death Match. Okay, real.
No, I gave Texas Death Match. Oh yeah. So it's
you raised Texas Death Match, remember?
I did. Man, I really like both matches for like different. Yeah, I'm gonna give 4.5. I like both those matches like equally for like different reasons. I thought they were both incredible.
I'm gonna put this one 4.6 just to give it the a notch over Texas Death.
Okay.
Just because of it being 60-minute Iron Man, like what it took. And I do think the in-ring storytelling was a tiny bit better than Texas Death. But I think Texas Death was there too, because you got to remember the callbacks to all the things with the feud with Hangman and Moxley. Damn, you're right. They're even. You're right. I can't give it over.
I mean,
now that I'm thinking of like,
great.
I'm thinking of the callbacks that Moxley and Hangman did, and it's just as good. 4.5 for both of them. This one's getting 4.5. Taz is complaining about water.
I love it. But I think overall, this is probably the best pay-per-view of the year so far.
Oh, yeah. Easy. It beats the WWE ones, because like this had 3 good matches where WWE will have 1 or 2.
Yeah, I even like the bad matches. I don't think were like stinkers.
Facts. It's not no Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey.
No. Yeah, just like a very good card. I'll be intrigued to see like when we do like our end of the year thing, like where this stacks up. I can see this being maybe like a top 5 pay-per-view.
It gotta be, bro. It's like the worst grade we gave was a 2. And that was me because I was upset at storytelling.
Yeah,
you had a 2.5.
2.5, yeah, 2.5.
Exactly.
Yep.
So like there's no way this won't be in the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just lowest was a 2.5, and I gave 3, or I gave 3. 2 4.5. So yeah, 2 4.5. Yeah. Just a great card.
Great card overall for sure. So now let's finish this with AEW's babyface problem, which I think is tied to MJF. I do. Like Wardlow now, if he fights MJF, will lose. Where does he go from there? Barry. You got is Adam Cole gonna come back from injury just to lose to MJF? Like that would suck for me, because Adam Cole should be the one to dethrone him if anybody does, because Adam Cole is just as hot. Then you got Hangman coming back after this beautiful Mox feud just to lose to MJF too. It's like, what do you do with these damn baby? There's not enough heels.
I think Hangman can lose to MJF and it wouldn't be that big.
He would be the one that can afford to, out of all the names we said.
I agree. I did the last episode, I did agree with you that I think Adam Cole would be a very good person to take it off of MJF right now.
He was towards the bottom of the list too.
Yeah, just it's tough because they want to solidify MJF as their main heel, and they're doing it. But how long do they want to keep this going for, and who they want to give it up to? And I think that's in question. I think it's probably going to surprise a lot of people when MJF finally drops it. Man, it's good. It's a good problem to have because I don't know who he's going to drop it to eventually, but
I just don't know.
There's no like standout. There's no like standout face like there are with MJF. Like well, I should say WWE because Cody is obviously that, but
no, I see what you're saying. There is no guy that has separated himself from the pack as like he can dethrone MJF. Also, I truly feel like AEW needs to turn this international championship and this TNT to the United States and Intercontinental, because they got to make these things matter. So guys like Ricky Starks, Hangman, Wardlow, and Adam Cole can get a shot at other belts if they're not getting the main title belt. Like, that's why this Powerhouse Hobbs thing has to be done the right way, so Ricky can get that belt and hang on to it until it's time for him to get the world championship.
I couldn't agree
same thing
more.
with Orange Cassidy on the other side, because he's a babyface who's won 15 in a row. It's like, what are you going to do with it, you know?
Yep. Could not agree more.
And like Jungle Boy, like he's talking about going after a championship. He's going to lose to MJF. He's not as hot as these other guys. No way.
Actually, that's a good person to, if they want to feed it to NJF. I wouldn't mind Jungle Boy.
Yeah, it works, because he did say in the presser he wants to take out the pillars because they're not fucking pillars. He's the pillar. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go next. Well, hopefully they give us some more story before the next pay-per-view. But we will be waiting and watching.
Yes, sir. And that's pretty much everything I got.
That's all I got too.
Well, Pete, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media. The fact that I'm 13-2, by the way, I gotta see how long I can keep this up.
You're killing it, man. Best way to follow me. My anime podcast is where I'm most active. It's What You Say Annie, What You Say ANI on Twitter. Otherwise, you can follow me on my personal account on Twitter. It's Don't Sweat with 3 T's at the end. Otherwise, just join the Discord or something like that. We can talk wrestling. We can talk a whole bunch of different stuff.
And shout out to our guy, David Dugas, who listens. Big shout out, commented on Twitter, was like excited to see our thoughts on this. So shout out to him. And shout out to all the listeners who support us. We truly, truly appreciate it. Y'all join the Discord. Come talk to us. Also, that to the OG guy who asked us to review one of his pay-per-views. We may get to that soon. Okay, I gotta talk to Pete. We may get to that soon because it's starting to slow down.
Yeah, it's slowing down. We got a month before WrestleMania. It's just gonna suck because I have so much to do before I go to Japan. With my own podcast, I have to record and edit.
You gotta record pre-record episodes.
I have to pre-record a bunch of stuff before I leave, and so it's just like finding time to just do anything outside of like work and podcasting is a little tough right now. So we'll do our best to make sure we got some content coming out. We'll for sure be doing WrestleMania stuff. But
facts, got to. Yeah. So be on the lookout for all that.
Yeah,
but until next time, you guys have a good one and peace.